I had a crazy dream, and I think it would make a really good story. And I am giving myself permission to stop and do this morning because of a recent video from Emma Bennett. So, Novel Factory, if you're new around here and you don't know what I'm talking about, it is a tool similar to Scrivener, but I find it a lot more visual, a lot more user-friendly, and I get it to do what I want it to do really quickly. Whereas when I tried Scrivener, I had to set up a lot of stuff that I didn't have time to set up. So I'm going to show you how easy it is, because I'm going to use it to save this idea I have had. Now, the idea I've gone into Novel Factory, and I'm going to start with my novel page. So I'm going up here, and I'm going to go to my novels. So basically, I kind of had this idea when I was waking up. And I know a lot of people have ideas when they're going to sleep. When I am going to sleep, I don't have new ideas. I have ideas about what I'm working on. So I'll get a video idea, or I'll get a line of dialogue or an image in my head right before I go to sleep, and I'll jot those down for use in my current novel. But when I wake up, I don't know if I had a dream or if I am in that kind of like place between sleep and awake, and I'll have these stories come into my head as I'm waking up. And sometimes they just pass and they're gone, and sometimes they really stick with me. And what I've always done in the past is I've written down everything I can think of, and they never go anywhere. Pants it, and then it's gone. So instead, I am going to jot down what I know about the characters and the setting, and I'm going to write down what kind of a story I want to take. So the story that I came up with is likely stronger as a subplot. I came up with a pretty strong love story, which again is odd for me. Suddenly I like writing love stories, which is so weird. And I want my main character to be male, which again is strange for me. That's the character that I feel has the most to learn in this story. And that is my character, Robin. So, but we're going to create a new novel. So this is my untitled university mystery novel. Subtitle is going to be Professor Boom the Ballet Dancer. I'm going to actually leave this bit because I think this would be a really good place to put my premise, and I'm going to start there. So I'm going to use what I've learned so far, taking the master class through Novel Factory and how to outline your book. And I'm going to get as far as the premise and putting in my two characters and possibly my setting. And then I'm going to stop and I'm going to leave it and go back to the novel that I'm working on. But this will be where I keep this idea. So it'll be there when I'm like looking for a new novel idea. Hey, remember that novel idea? Yeah, look, it's right there. And the reason I can add a second novel is because I have the standard, which is the middle tier version of Novel Factory. If you go with the basic, you can only do one novel at a time. So I highly recommend getting that second tier for that reason. Make sure that I'm writing the premise for this novel and not my Cinderella story, because I've already done that. So you can see, because I'd clicked on it in my novels, this is all blank. So if this were my Cinderella novel, it would have my premise there. Character's Robin. Robin is a music professor at a struggling university with a leg injury. He had a leg injury and his leg is permanently hurt. And Robin's objective is to keep his job. His job is in jeopardy. So I don't even have a full premise yet. And this is where I have stopped in the past, because I had the character and I knew what they want, and then I would just start writing and I would get in trouble. But I'm not going to allow myself to write until I know what the opponent is and what the disaster is. But I will let myself put in my characters, because that is actually what I had a clear thought of, is my characters. So let's start with Robin. I had a little look on Getty Images, and this is sort of an image that I found, and it's not perfect because the man in the image is actually just using a walking stick to walk in the forest. But I felt like this man kind of looked like a young music professor. I feel like the mystery needs to involve music in some way. It needs to involve the university needing money in some way. I feel like that needs to, but I want it to be a mystery. I want it to be some kind of a mystery that he solves. I want this to be a very intellectual thriller. I'm gonna create a new one. So this one, she doesn't have a name. This is the ballet dancer. I don't want to make her the victim. The woman is always the victim. So that's not what I want. I had a friend say to me that she doesn't like crime novels and mystery novels because it is always someone who looks like her that is the victim, and she doesn't want to be the victim, she wants to be the hero. So this ballet dancer is going to be the hero. But I also want to write a strong male character because the same friend has said to me that we get a lot of female representation, and I want to represent somebody mobility challenged, but is possibly the hero of his own story. So yeah, so they're my two strongest characters. And before I go to my plot manager and just add to plot. So I know I want it to be a mystery crime. Ooh, no, detective noir. Way better. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a detective noir. That's exciting. There's my noir plot. Oh, that I'm excited about this story. So it'll be a noir with a romance. Love it. Switch back to the Cinderella story, which now has that working title, which is Love Lies on YouTube. Open that, and we'll get back to work. So if you want to see how I'm going to fill in details that I left during NaNoWriMo and fix up a scene, I'll be doing that next time. So click that subscribe button, and I'll pop the video here. In the meantime, check out last week's video where I fixed my scenes. Here, I love to give you choices. You know that because you are not an AI. You are a real person, and I appreciate you. See you in the next.